What's up, you guys? Taking a break from alternate day fasting. That's right, from intermittent fasting altogether, because I am doing an extended fast. Yes, for the next 10 days, I will be consuming only water and morning coffee. You better believe that. And maybe some potassium, magnesium, sodium, electrolytes. We'll see how I feel. There's some people say you don't need all that stuff. Some people say you do. So we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so why am I doing this? This is crazy, Steve. Why are you doing this? Well, I'll tell you. I've given it a lot of thought. And I know I said in my first video that I would never do another long fast. My first long fast was when I was 16. This was my first experience with fasting. I was 16 years old. I did the fast for spiritual reason. It was a total water fast, and it was 21 days long. So that was my baptism by fire, so to speak, into the world of fasting. And now I'm coming to the end of my first 6 months on a fasting regimen. For the most part, I've had some slips, trips, and falls, but in the last 6 months, I've been doing mostly alternate day fasting, and I've done some little modifications here and there. But in the last 6 months, and in fact since that 21-day fast when I was 16, the longest I have fasted in the last 6 months was 85 hours. That is 3 days and 4 nights. And when I did that, that was actually a few weeks ago, I said, you know what, I want to do a longer fast. I'm interested in a longer fast. Well, how come? I'll tell you. I've learned some things in the past 6 months, and I want to take some time to reflect on them and share them with you, share them, just kind of record them here and tell the story of some things that I've learned. I want to lower my set point. One of the things that I've learned is that my body's set point is high. And the reason it's high is because I am insulin resistant. Okay? So, and I still find myself craving carbs, craving sugar, craving beer. And I just feel like I'm getting jerked around, to be honest with you. I feel like it's so easy for me to slip back into the old habits. And, I can just kind of feel it happening. And so I'm like, what am I going to do here? I'm responsible for this body. The question I ask myself all the time is do I own this body or does it own me? And sometimes I feel like it owns me. Sometimes I don't understand the source of the cravings or whatever. So there's a part of me that's just like, let's just cut it out. Let's just take an extended period where nothing is coming in. Nothing. We're just taking a rest here. Okay? And so that's what's behind it. There's spiritual reasons that I'm in a time when there's a lot of transition going on in my life and some uncertainty in the household. And so I want to take some time spiritually again to just sort of refocus. In every religious tradition almost, fasting is a component. So you'll see Muslims, you'll see Jews, you'll see Christians talk about fasting. And if you read their texts, what's in there is the idea every time of setting aside your own needs for someone else, for God and for other people. And so I want to go through a time like that, just kind of seek Him, seek His purpose. And if you don't believe and you're not spiritual and you just think this is all physical, whatever, more power to you. I'm not telling you what to think. But that's a part of it, and that is a primary part of it, because I know that my body and the resistance that I feel has a spiritual component to it. So for me, that's why I say that I put that sort of first. And I want to break some of these old habits. I just want to sort of tear apart the foundations of some of these things that I learned even in childhood, and that I just think are normal and that just kind of grew up with. And I want to break those patterns and rebuild them. Okay, so there's a little bit of deconstruction that needs to happen before I can build things in the healthful and positive way that they should be. My relationship with food and is really what I'm getting at here. And even other appetites. And I'll be talking about how other appetites affect our food and our eating. So like sex, entertainment, how do those things affect our eating? They do affect our eating patterns. And it's all sort of connected. You know, we're not compartmentalized. It's not like, well, over here I'm at work, and over here I'm at home, and over here I'm this person, that person, whatever. We're connected creatures, and I look at it in a total way. So yeah, another thing I want to do here is I just want to rest. I just want to take some time off from food, from flavors, and not just that, but even from social media, except for YouTube, from Facebook, from television, and just kind of take some time off to rest. If you've never seen Penn Jillette, the comedian, talk about his weight loss experience, I'll put a link in the description, because it's really a great video. It's only about 9 minutes long, but he just says so many. He just has really good reflections on weight loss in general. He's been successful at it. But one of the things that he said that really struck me is that weight loss should be a time of rest, that it should be almost like hibernation. We think if I want to lose weight, I got to go out and pound the treadmill. I got to, kill myself, leave a trail of sweat and tears. And, Penn Jillette says, no, you should sleep in. You should rest more and just kind of hibernate your body as you lose weight. And that's a cool idea. I mean, I was struck by that because I think fasting is a kind of rest. And even people who do intermittent fasting will say, hey, I like the days that I fast. I like the days that I like them as much, if not more, as the days that I eat, the way I feel and the way I think. And it's really because you're just putting something aside that you don't have to think about. So I'm drawn to that idea. Other reasons that people take a longer fast is for the autophagy, cell regeneration. If you fast 2 or 3 days, your white blood cell count will jump up, and so you'll give your immune system a boost. Flu season is coming. My kids are going back to school next week, and they're the ones that bring all the snot and germs and disgusting things into the house. So it's good to have an extra barrier there, you know what I'm saying? Extended detox. The longer you fast, the more kind of funk that your body deals with and draws out. So there's detoxification benefits. Breaking bad habits, I already talked about, just like resetting the appetite, resetting the taste buds. And, far down on the list, now it's here, but it's down there, is weight loss. One of the things I've learned in the last 6 months is that weight loss is only one component of the total thing. If you haven't experienced it, people who lose weight and then gain it back. And it's always been back there in the back of my mind. You know what? This has to be total change. This has to be a change of my mentality, my behavior. I may say, well, I can live with this, but I can't live with that. It's kind of like an evaluation of all these things. And all those things together make up whether you're successful at losing weight or whether you're successful at keeping it off, rather. All diets work, all diets fail. And we know this to be true. And so I'm not interested in a diet. I'm looking at change. And I'm looking at, well, what can I do with the limitations I have to make the changes that are necessary? So those are some of the ideas that I have in mind, or that have been circulating in my head for why I want to do a longer fast. And so what am I going to do? Barring an emergency, if I don't have a heart attack and die, or if I don't starve to death in the next 10 days, which is every time you bring up fasting, that's the sort of stuff that people say. I'm going to just have water and coffee and maybe some electrolyte supplements, which I'll talk about as things go on. I'm going to be coming on YouTube every day in the evening. At some point, I'll come in and upload a video, just talk about how things went that day. This is the first day. Obviously, I'm accustomed to fasting, so this has been a breeze. I went to work and did what I have to do. Catch me on day 3. Yeah, catch me on day 3. You're going to hear a different story. I don't mind telling you. But I'll be talking about practical issues, the things I encounter, just kind of recording the story of this fast. 10 days is my goal. I'll be talking about the physical, the mental, emotional, spiritual victories, mistakes, misgivings, doubts, fears, haters, the whole nine, and just how the fast affects me overall. So, and I'll also be answering your questions. If you have questions, leave them here. There's some that have come in on the channel that I haven't addressed yet that I will be talking about in the next 10 days. But, you know, by all means, if you have a question, a comment, leave it in the comment section. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some encouragement here. This is something I haven't done as an adult. Okay, so, and I know a long fast is not for everybody. I don't recommend it, just like I don't recommend a short fast. I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm not a guru. I am not a doctor. I'm not a biologist, a nutritionist. I'm just a fat dude. And so I'm just kind of recording the story. If you're interested, like this video, share it with someone else. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow I continue to fast. Have a good one, you guys.